What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Biketyson, and you're now tuned into Biketyson Life Cycles. And today's life cycle is get information. It was 83 motherfucking bikes out here today. I mean, damn. Now, imagine this trying to get 83 motherfucking bikes in formation, in order, is a task in itself. So, right before we pulled off, we had a little pre meeting, right? And shout out to Buckwild who hosted the event. We were heading to a place in Colombia called the Lost Art Distillery, right? But prior to us taking off, she, wanted to get everybody information because it was 83, and we ride staggered and stuff like that. Now, if you never rode in a big group like this, a lot of shit can go wrong. And unfortunately, nothing happened, and everybody was riding responsibly. And I was kind of impressed because it looked like, and I was up front, that we stayed together, and it seems like everybody stayed in formation. Now, I can't say what was going on in the back of the pack. Most of the cruisers were back there, so I'm assuming that the cruisers had everything in check, because they kind of ride in formation anyway versus the sport bikes. So I was kind of like, everything seemed cool, and from my vantage point, it looked like we were all together. Um, Shout outs to the road captain. At this point, it was Bobby who was on the blue Busa. Um, it seemed like everything was intact. And like I said, trying to get 83 bikes in formation is a task. Um, so me and a couple of my crew were up front anyway, just you know trying to set the tone. And again, we took all kind of back roads. We didn't get on the highway or anything like that, because with 83 bikes, yeah, that could be a task getting on the highway. So we took some back roads, and we pretty much stayed in formation. And as you can see, the lineup was ridiculous. Imagine 83 fucking bikes coming down the road. Most cars are moving out the way. Most people are probably taking videos, pictures, whatever the case may be, and it's almost like it, it was almost like a parade route, I guess you could call it, because the amount of people who just were stopping just to see that many bikes in formation, it I think it was captivating to them. And I don't blame them, because I know, just if I'm in my truck or something like that and I see a bunch of bikes, I mean, because I'm part of this bike life culture, like it still amazes me. So when I see that, I just look at how amazing it is when people stay together and ride in formation, because there's power in numbers. And not only that, cops don't fuck with you. When they see 83 motherfucking bikes coming down, I don't think one cop in the world is going to sit up there and try to pull somebody over because they ain't got plates, or they willying, or whatever the case may be. So that's why we encourage people to stay in formation or stay within the pack, especially if you ride dirty. And what I mean by riding dirty, you got no license plate, because that's a indicator for a cop to pull you over. Or you want to do some stunts within the pack. 9 times out of 10, they won't bother you if you because there's just so many people. So when you do these group rides, you got to be cautious. And again, a lot of these for 83, I rode with most of them, but there were some that I never rode with before. So you still got to be alert and conscious of what's around you. So when you go in lane to lane, make sure you put your signals on, or you signaling with your arm, leg, whatever you do, just to let the next person know, hey, I'm coming over, so they don't run up on the back of you and y'all crash. So I always suggest that you know in a group, you got to be kind of cognizant of what's going on if you never rode with people like this before. Just so happened, since I was up front, it was most of the people I've rode with before, so I kind of know how they ride. So I pretty much didn't have to worry about anything. Um, and in this case, like I said, we were just having a good old time. I was recording, as you can see. Um, that's my homegirl Wit, who always give me a hard time. Shout outs to her. But she a rider, she a true rider, and she been riding with me for I want to say over a year now. So, and that's what she do. She like bikes. Um, who else? Who else? The core, I think I mentioned this before. The core group of my crew, I guess you could say, is about a good 20 of us, 20 to 25 of us, give or take. Most times when we out and about, it's it's usually about that many that ride out. I mean, we all get conflicted with schedules. People got families, kids, and all that good stuff. But when we all come together, it's about a good 20, maybe 25 of us, and that's male and female. Uh, and again, we had cruisers out, we had sport bikes out, we had other motorcycle clubs that rock with us out. So, it's a big community, and for the most part, we all get along. We all know each other from, different events that we go to, or we rode together, on a road trip, or we just know each other via, we live in the same neighborhood or some shit like that. So again, this bike life culture in the DMV and this Mighty Hip Moto group, I think it's the top. I want to say one of the top motorcycle groups in the DMV. I think most people know about this. The IKEA meetup every Wednesday. If you don't know, now you know. Uh, but I was trying to be on my I don't know, action cam thing, but it was a red light. Got off the bike, tried to record, the whole lineup, but that lineup was kind of long before the light turned green. So I was like, all right, I could go about a good halfway. That's all I got. If I don't capture you on video, my bad. Uh, Maybe next time. But for the most part, this is what it was looking like the whole way through. And again, y'all, listen, uh, these rides, I just be freestyling, you know, the content, I guess you could say. Um, it's really nothing you can say for a whole uh, bike ride. Like, you got certain topics that you could discuss, but for the most part, if people who do it like live, like if you riding and you talking the whole way, at some point you're gonna go silent because it's almost impossible to talk about something the whole way through to from point A to point B, especially if it's a long ride. Like, imagine you going on an hour or a 2 hour ride. It's almost nothing you can talk about for that long. So that's why I try to edit these videos down and give you like short clips, maybe 15, 20, max 30 minutes, and try to just talk my way through what's going on here. And like I said, in this case, you see me just going in and out every stoplight and trying to capture as much video as I could. And you can see the different type of bikes that were out there, from 600s, 750s, 1000s, cruisers, all that good stuff. So I think every brand was pretty much out there. Um, and like I said, uh, it's just a fun event to do every Wednesday. It to me, like I tell people all the time, this is a hobby. This is like me going to the club, I guess you can say. Um, because you get to hang out with your boys. We shoot the shit. We talk, about sports. We talk about just life in general, and it's always just a good vibe every time we out and about. And again, I like to think that my core group, we all kind of resourceful in certain things. So like I said, what I mean by that is like, um if you having an issue with your bike, we can recommend where to take it to, or how to fix it, or what part to get, like these different things that we discuss within like our group chats. And I think a lot of people in this bike life culture, everybody got a group chat. I think, to be honest with you, group chats is like the new podcast, if you ask me. Like, there's a million podcasts, on YouTube and just scouring all over the internet, right? And in this motorcycle life or bike life, as we call it, there's it there's a group chat for everybody. Like, I can't tell you how many group chats I'm in. And here's the part. That shit gets a little dysfunctional because you're trying to keep up. But all right, what was I talking about in this chat versus what I was talking about in this chat, right? But that shit was funny. Now, right here, right? I try to capture, a nice little scene of all the bikes. But what really had happened was I had got off my bike and one of my boys hit my kill switch and I didn't even know. And when I went to go back to my bike and take off, I'm like, what the fuck? My bike was off. So I had to start it back up. And I was like, what the fuck going on? And me, I'm not paying attention. It ain't starting back up because I ain't put it in neutral. So I'm just trying to hit the switch on and off. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I turned my key off, like turned the whole bike off and then turned it back on. And I was like, what the fuck just happened here? And come to find out, my boy Hammer, shout out to Hammer on Twos, go check out his YouTube page. He hit my kill switch, and nobody told me he did that until we got to the actual destination. So he was playing games. So as I think what he realized every time we was at a stoplight, I was getting off the bike trying to video, and I guess when my back was turned and I'm trying to run up the aisle we had of 83 bikes, he hit my kill switch, and I didn't even I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, motherfucker, you got jokes. He's like, yeah, I thought somebody would have told you. He's like, nah, nobody told me. So fuck all y'all and my crew who didn't say shit, who seen the shit happen and didn't say anything. Y'all, I thought I stalled out and something wrong with I thought my shit was overheating or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? As you can see. So I'm like, yo, my shit was not starting up. And I was like, y'all, there's some bullshit. But eventually, again, turned it off, let it sit for like 5 seconds, turned it back on, reset everything, and there we go. We started taking off. But I thought it was a good joke. So now I know who got jokes. So, Ham, I'm going to get you back one of these days. So you're going to get caught slipping too. And when I hit your kill switch, uh, we gonna see how funny it is. I might do that shit when you least expect it, or when we in heavy traffic or something like that, and you try and take off. So, yeah, I got you on that one. That was a good one. I'll give you credit for that one. But as you can see, I was just trying to like, ew, I'm stalled out. I'm stalled out. I'm just making sure nobody, ran, hit me from, like nobody didn't rear end me. I guess you could say pause. So I was just making sure I had enough distance between everybody so they could see, hey, go around me, because the last thing I want is a crash. So, but once I got back up, I was like, all right, I'm out. I'm going back up to the front. So, again, trying for the most part, we was in formation, as you can see, and I was just trying to just get right back up to the front, and you can see all the bikes that was that joined this group ride, and we all had a good time. Again, it was some bikes that were out there. I was like, damn, that shit nice. Like it was one guy, I think it was a Gixxer or a Booster. He had stretch with the light kit all over it. I was like, oh, that joint nice. And you could see he is set up for racing because he had the brake delete. You just had that one plate on the front of his bike, and he had basically no rear brake, and you could tell it was set up for just straight quarter-mile racing. And to me, I can't do it for the main reason I like to enjoy the ride and I like to enjoy my bike. So when you have bikes that's set up for just straight racing, I mean, it's fun at the moment, but I mean, you're gonna be burning gas like shit. So I doubt if his bike can get a good 50 miles out of it. So he constantly he can't take no long distance trips for the most part. So my thing is I like to just enjoy the ride. We go different places. So yeah. If I wanted to get a bike to really trick it out, I could, but I'm only one person. Having, 5 bikes to me kind of irrelevant. I'm only one person. I can only do one at a time. I don't go to the track like that, even though I would like to, but the street is my track for the most part. So, and the track gets expensive too. I mean, anybody who ever been to the one in West Virginia, Summit Point, or been up to the one in Jersey, I mean, it's a different type of skill to the point where, from what people told me, when you go on a track and then go back to the street, like it's a total different skill level. It's a total different mindset. It's just a total different everything because again, it's too many intervening factors on the street versus just being on the track. Because when you're on the track, if you wipe out, you ain't got to worry about a car hitting you or anything like that. You just sliding into dirt or sand or whatever the case may be, and you got a tracksuit on, so you ain't got to worry about somebody running over you or anything like that. On the street, that's a total different mindset, different, just a different everything. So you got to be mindful of what's around you, what's oncoming, or you got to watch out for drunk drivers, all that good stuff. So again, different mindset, but I do want to do a track day. I don't know when. I'll truck and trailer up there just to, just to say I did it on my for a bucket list, but I can't do it on a Hayabusa. So the thing is, I would have to get like a 600 or a 750 to do a track day. I mean, unless I just rent somebody bike. But Hayabusas ain't built for the track. They built for a drag strip, and that's about it. And like I said, I got a fast bike, but I'm not a fast rider. But I can ride fast if I need to, and I can ride fast enough to get away if I needed to. So that's kind of where I just keep it and leave it at. I mean, at the end of the day, how many times you really going 200 miles an hour? Probably once if you just want to, you just want the shits and giggles out of you. I mean, that's about all I can think of. But for most people like myself, yeah, that shit gets scary. Like I be on scary hours trying to go 180, 190, 200 miles an hour. Like first of all, to me, it's a death wish. So I love my life, and I got people to take care of, and people that rely on me. So I want none of those problems. I let people have that. So when people, always want to race me, or you got cars that always want to race, stuff like that, I kind of assess the situation. Like if I'm on an open road where I can see damn near a mile in front of me, and we on a good straightaway, I'll do it, every now and then. But 9 times out of 10, yeah, I'm chilling. You got it, bro. You can have all that. But like I said, it just depends on how I feel and when I really want to test the limits on my bike. But again, I know my bike ain't the fastest bike in the world, especially versus people who set the bike up just for racing. But I just like to see where, how I match up every now and then. And for the most part, like I'm satisfied with it. Listen, I don't care about being the fastest, but I am gonna be the fucking coolest out this bitch. How about that? So at the end of the day, that's all I care about. I mean, some people get bikes to set them up to go fast. Some people set their bikes up for stunt riding. Some people just for commuting. Some just for just recreation and leisure. And for me, it's more recreation and leisure for the most part, and I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that. So, like I said, I'm still gonna be a cool motherfucker though. At the end of the day, so that's all that matters. And listen, I I'm gonna get from point A to point B safe, because I always tell people, listen, the concrete is undefeated. I'm not trying to fall, and I'm not trying to fuck my bike up. So, at the end of the day, uh, if that happens is because I did some dumb shit, and I'm not trying to do no dumb shit. That's just basically what it is. So, like I said, I just like to ride with my boys, and we just have a good time, and we go to different, events or restaurants, biker bars, yeah, shit like that. Then that's my hobby, and that's all I need. That's like my dopamine, I guess you could say, every week. So every Wednesday we out and about, and occasionally, on a weekend, if there's an event that's coming up that we all want to go to, that's my going to the party. That's me going out to the club. Like that's my new normal, basically. Everybody got the hobby or what they like to do, and this is what I do. I mean, amongst other things, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still have a family life. Everybody got a work life. Everybody got their own personal hobby life, I guess. So you got to kind of separate, the different lifestyles that everybody got. I'm not the same person at work like I am at home. I mean, I think that's nobody. I don't think nobody does that. I mean, how you act at work is totally different how you act at home. And people say I don't change for nobody. Yes, you do. Everybody code switch because everybody put on their professional, you know, makeup and voice and attitude when they at work versus when they get at home. So uh, don't sit up there and pump fake saying that y'all the same person at work as y'all are at home, because 9 times out of 10, most of y'all be unemployed. So don't, yeah, you can stop the lying. And like I said, for me, I'm just a cool dude. Listen, I got no worries. I like my life, so for the most part, I just like to have fun, and I go to fuck home. That's just what it is. So, and like I said, most people in my crew are mature. They all got careers, families, all that good stuff. We just out for our shits and giggles, and then we all get going to fuck home. And that's the whole goal when we out on bikes, is to make it back home, because we all been a part of this bike life where that doesn't happen all the time. I'm sure people seen accidents. I'm sure people seen deaths. That's a scary sight. That's a fucked up situation. All that good shit. But I mean, like I said, you always take the risk when you out on twos that, hey, something can happen. So you try to be as cautious as you can, and that's just what it comes down to. And like I said, the goal is to get home. So with that being said, I'm Bike Tyson. You're tuned into Bike Tyson Life Cycles. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit. And I hope y'all enjoy these bootleg videos, because that's basically what it is. This is not a GoPro. This is a 4K Amazon fucking camera for like $40. That's exactly what this shit is. So listen, I do this shit just for fun. It's just, like I said, it's a hobby, and it kind of helps with my presentation skills. Like, anybody who ever done like public speaking, this is like good practice when you do this type of shit. So these voiceovers. So that's just what it is for me. And I know when I'm at work, it helps. So I'm out. Peace. Hope you like it. Fuck you.